What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Culture Exposed. This is episode number 7. Yeah! Today I'm here with my good friend Barbara, and she's been studying in Cuba for the past year, basically. And so there's some very interesting things happening in Cuba. There are lots of culture, lots of tropical weather, and so yeah, let's get to it. So the first question is, in Cuba, there's basically socialism still going on with the government and stuff, and so how does the society work in terms of the government?
Well, yeah, I've been there for exactly 7 months. And okay, the first lap, of course, for me as a young person, was the internet. Because there is no internet at all. I mean, you can you can log in hotels which cost you like 10 Cuban dollars. It's quite expensive for 1 hour. Or yeah, well, you can go and get connected like in a few spots like in a town, but it's really slow, so it's really bad. The internet thing was the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing is shopping, probably. Okay, here you come to the store and you get everything in one spot. Supermarkets. Oh, there? Okay, you've got supermarkets, it says. But inside, it's mostly empty. It's like it depends which day, which month is it, maybe, or I don't know. And for example, we didn't have a toilet paper for 1 month, for example. It's crazy, but yeah, that's Cuba. That's the blockade and everything. Or just basic butter or bread. Some days you just cannot buy it,
Yeah.
so it's rough.
Is it stagnant? Is it moving somewhere? Are the people trying to change it, or are they just like rolling with it?
Well, what I heard that people say that it is changing, but just the little details. For example, the internet available for Cuban people, that was impossible these past few years. For example, they can be self-employed, they can have open their own restaurant or cafeteria, and that's something really big for them because since since now it was just government. Okay, this is a typical communistic system, but now these little details are opening, and even Cuban people can travel, which was absolutely blocked. Not everyone. Okay, it is difficult still, but they can. They cannot be visible. It's just as I'm saying, the details.
Yeah, yeah. Hard to imagine for us Europeans and Americans who are, rolling in our cars into the mall where there's
Everything.
hundreds of things
Yeah.
everywhere, anything you can imagine, and
Here you just come, you just want the milk, and there is just one milk. You have no other choice. What comes, you have. And the trick is, like, if you have something, you gotta buy it. Like, you gotta buy a lot of it, because then it's gone. And you don't know for how long.
yeah.
It's just gone.
If life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. I guess question number 2 is, very typical things about Cuba is Cuban cigars and rum. We have some examples
We
here.
have here, like, yeah, they sell it like this.
Very
This is a special
interesting
cover.
stuff.
It's leather and wood from cedar, because it's gotta be humid for the tobacco. And inside we have the typical Cohiba cigar.
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
interesting. I'm gonna put this over here.
Here it's pretty expensive, but in Cuba you can just get these on the street, and they even give you the papers. You gotta be careful, of course, with the papers, but yeah, it's pretty available everywhere.
Yeah, sweet. Some product placement. Maybe we'll get paid by them. Maybe not. So yeah, could we get the second?
Oh, yeah.
Typical
The
rum.
bottle of rum.
Yeah. So this
This
is
is-
very Cuban things.
Yeah, Santiago.
the typical brand, made right there.
It's gotta be old. The rum's gotta be old, and it's a good rum. It's not about the brand or something, sometimes, but no, it's about the how many years it has.
So, is there anything that makes these products special or Cuban or in any way different? What makes them so popular? What makes them so good?
I don't know. It's a typical picture of Cuba. Like you see a
Years of
Cuban man or
tradition.
or a woman just sitting there chilling and with the cigar in her or his mouth. It doesn't matter. Girl, women, man is just pretty common. Like to have a cigar and just chill, enjoy the moment with the cigar. Even the cigarettes are cheap, so everybody smokes in Cuba.
Yeah, so, year by year, it's just gonna improve, and they've got the nice quality there because it's probably generations, and it's been better than better until now. It's very well respected and sought after, I guess. Do you have to go to Cuba to get this quality product, or is it available at a higher cost, obviously, in other parts of the world?
It is. It is. They export a lot because they make a lot of money from that. But yeah, for example, the price to compare, I bought this one cigar. It cost me like in euros. It cost me 10 euros, and here in the store it's more than 20. So yeah, that's the difference. That's why it's worth it to go to Cuba and enjoy the Caribbean Ocean and buy this stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
really nice.
it's better to go there.
Moving on to question number 3 is Cuban music. The question is, what is traditional Cuban music, and how does it contrast to what they listen to every day, the availability of pop and all the music that's everywhere in the world, I guess.
Yeah. So the traditional music, the Cuban music, which you can hear all over the places, especially in old Havana, where on the streets they're playing it alive, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's salsa, basically it's salsa. For the majority of young people, there is reggaeton music, which is like, I don't know, here it sounds like Pitbull or something like that. So that's reggaeton, mostly on discos at night. But people consider it like as a dirty music, and even if it's too dirty, it cannot be like in the radios, so it's banned.
Censored, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of like clubs and music, do they get the latest hits? Like in terms of release dates, is there a delay? Do they even have all the music that us Westerners have, or is it not available to the average Cuban?
Well, surprisingly, it is pretty new, everything there. I don't know, because Cuba is open to new cultures and this stuff. So the music, as the electronic music especially, you can find it. You can go to clubs and enjoy this kind of our Western music, or how you call it.
Yeah. Moving on to question number 4, which is about Cuban family traits. Is there any unique situation in the Cuban household, considering, let's say, gender roles and bringing up children and stuff?
Well, Cubans are, at the first place, pretty loud, energetic, and dynamic. Like, if they get too excited about everything, like, if they love you, they just love you, like, super deep, and if they hate you, then it's a big fight. For example, I live in a Cuban family, not with little children, but what I see, they just grow up like pretty simply, pretty free. I see them playing on the street, even through the cars, running through the cars, little kids. They're not afraid. It's their kind of culture. They just leave them. And the Cuban families, I just love the change of their moods. Like, they get too excited, then they're fighting, then they're throwing stuff at each other because they're just mad. But it's nice. It's really lifelike.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mood swings.
Oh yeah.
What about, let's say, like religion? Or do they force these ideas upon their kids? Is it open to, you choose what you want to follow?
Oh no, we're talking about Cuba. That's a communistic country, and you got your leader, and that's your, yeah, that's your religion, that's your everything. But many people, the majority are Christians.
Hmm. Very interesting. Our fifth and last question is about the weather. Obviously, in Cuba, it's humid. It's very warm, and so as a non-Cuban, how do you adjust to this kind to living in this tropical weather? Because I imagine sometimes you kind of want to get a break, right? Or no?
Yes, of course, I know what you mean, but the humidity is really high. So even if it's not that hot, you just come out and you're just sweating. So you cannot do actually anything special about it. You just need a good air conditioner in your room. But especially at school, it was like a small classroom full of students, like 30 students, and one ventilator like in front, and that's it. So the classes are pretty bad, but then I came home and I just switched on the air conditioner. That was the only thing.
So it's always hot. There's very little.
They say that they have two seasons, like summer and winter, but for me it was always summer. So winter it's like 25 degrees, and
Celsius.
Celsius, ah yeah, I'm sorry, Celsius.
It's okay.
And it was like, okay, 25 or 23, and I went to the streets and people were wearing caps, coats, and I was like, wow, what's happening? And then you saw the tourists, the contrast, like tourists in the shorts and just...
That's funny.
Yeah.
Is there... are there lots of rain, or is rain very scarce? Is it mostly just hot and humid, or does it vary sometimes with?
No, yeah, it really is like you never know when the rain will come. It's like 5 minutes and damn, it's the shower, like that. So especially in summer, and the thunderstorms, but it lasts like 1 hour. Yeah, like 1 hour, and that's it. Then it's sunny again. So it's not a big deal. It's pretty nice actually to have.
Can you like get used to that kind of weather, or do you just deal with it, or can it, I mean I'm sure it's nice sometimes.
It's nice, yeah. Well, I missed this year winter, but I don't know. Then I went to the beach, and you know, Caribbean beaches are that's something.
They're amazing, yeah. So I guess what's your favorite advantage of the tropical weather? Just the beaches and the sea?
And especially in Cuba, the Cuban Havanas nights for me. You can go any night and it's still available. Like it's a party all the time. They love parties. That's pretty Cuban. Fiesta.
That's sweet. Okay, so that was our last question. If you want to check out more, last week's video was with Oliver about Taiwan. There's going to be a link somewhere here, the box you can click and stuff. Like, share, and subscribe, and you know, we really appreciate your support and everything. This is my friend Barbara. This was a video about Cuba, and we upload every Monday. So this is Culture Exposed. I'm Christian, and we'll see you next week. Bye.